Hello everybody, and today we're going to take you on a journey through the universe using Google Earth, which actually has a Google Sky function. So instead of looking at places on Earth, we can turn the Google satellites around and look into deep space. And so we're going to go visit some different celestial objects today, and you're going to get some information down about them and fill out an HR diagram at the very end. So here's what your assignment looks like. You should have printed this off already from the Canvas assignment, and if you haven't, then you can copy this down as a table in your ISN. And so part A, we're going to be looking at different galaxies, and then part B, we're going to be looking at different stars. And once you get the information about stars like luminosity and temperature, we can then come over here and plot this in part C on the HR diagram, and then we'll make an HR diagram about part B. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. We are going to look at Google Sky, and I already have it set up here and looking at Messier 101. So the first thing you have to do is figure out what shape this is, and remember this is based on how it looks. And then I'm going to click on the information here, and I'm going to let you pause it and read through, and then pick one interesting fact about it. Okay, and now that you have hopefully paused and gotten your information, we're going to go on to our next place, which is Messier 84. Okay, so I'm going to click on my Touring Sky button here. That allows me to take a tour of the universe, and let me go to the next galaxy, which is Messier 84. So we're going to zoom all the way out, travel across the universe, and then here is Messier 84. So based on the look here, I can even zoom in. This is another galaxy. So based on the shape, you're going to write down what type of galaxy you think it is. And then I'm going to bring up some information about it and let you pause the video again so you can read through this and pick one interesting fact about it. Okay, so you should have paused and picked one interesting fact. Now we're going to go back to our Touring Sky button and go visit Messier 109. This will shoot us across the universe again. Pretty much all of these are, I don't know how close they are really to us, but they are definitely outside of the Milky Way, because the Milky Way is its own galaxy, and these are other galaxies that we're looking around. All right, here's the shape of Messier 109. So go ahead and record what type of galaxy that is. And then here is your information about it. So you can pause the video and read through that information. Good, and now we're going to go on to the next one, which is Andromeda. I definitely know Andromeda is visible in the night sky. I think it's one of our closest galactic neighbors. Very, very bright, very large galaxy here. You can kind of see the flat shaped, you can see some of the arms floating around here, so that should give you a hint as to what Andromeda is. And then here is information about it. So go through and pause the video and then read through that information. Pick one interesting fact. Okay, and now we're going to go on to the Pinwheel Galaxy. Probably the name Pinwheel should give you some clue about what shape it's going to be. But here is the Pinwheel Galaxy. Very pretty galaxy, got some greens and blues in there. And then here is your information about it. So I'll let you pause the video, look through that, write down your interesting fact so that you can take a picture and submit at the end. Very good. And now we're going to move on to our last galaxy, called the Black Eye Galaxy. So what's happening here is it looks like there's two images that they kind of layered on top of each other. This one still has the arms. You have the middle, behind this red dot, you have the middle bulge, and then you got the arms back here. So here's your information about it. Go ahead and pause. You can read the information, and then we'll move on to our star, which would be on the back side of this. Okay, so let's go on to our first star. So on the back side, it says Rigel in part B is our first star. So we're going to use our Touring Sky button and go to Rigel. Now this is a star within our galaxy. So now we're kind of zooming back in. Okay, and that's Rigel. And then if we click on the information here and go to full article, we should be able to find luminosity, temperature, stage in its life cycle, and spectral type. So sometimes we come down here, let's see. We have our evolutionary stage, so this is our type. And then we have other information here. Spectral type is listed here. And then if we scroll down, we have our temperature. And we have our luminosity. So for luminosity, what we're going to do is we're going to do our 1.20, don't worry about the plus or minus, times 10 to the fifth. So that means you have to move the decimal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spots, and then fill in your zeros. So 1.20 times 10 to the fifth means you move the decimal 5 spots over. Okay, so you got your temperature. Don't worry about the plus minus, just give me the big number here, and then the luminosity. You'll have to extend that out. Some scientific notation, which I know you guys have learned in math. Okay, so that is Rigel. If you need to scroll back through and pause the video to get that information down, you can. And we're going to go back to Google Earth and then visit our next star, which is Procyon. So we're going to click on Procyon. And we have Procyon here, which is one that we've talked about in class. We looked this up with the fingerprints of stars. And if we click on Procyon and go to full article, I'll let you pause here in case you see what Procyon is in terms of its life cycle stage. I think it says right here it is a main sequence star, and here is the spectral type. And then if we scroll down to our right side, that can help us find luminosity and temperature here in this area under details. Remember, you don't have to write plus minus or anything. Just make sure we're in Kelvin, and then luminosity means compared to the sun, so 6.93 times brighter than the sun. Okay, so then we're going to go back. If you need to back up to get some of that information, you can pause the video. We're going to move on to Altair, which is our next star. And then here is Altair. We're going to click on our information spot and go to full article. Okay, and you can pause here if you want to read through, but you do have spectral type down here in your characteristics column. And you have evolutionary stage as well, so that would be stage and life cycle. And then if we scroll down to details, you have luminosity and temperature as well in here. So make sure to record that in your data chart. And then if you need to pause, go ahead and pause. We're going to scroll back up and go back. And we're going to take our tour on to Spica. Spica is our next one. Okay, and then we got Spica here. And go to full article. Okay, so Spica, we have our spectral type, but we do not have our overall stage in life cycle. That is going to be found in this area, I believe. There we go. The primary is a blue giant, so there's that. Okay, and then if we scroll down to details, we have luminosity and we have temperature. Remember, don't worry about the plus minus stuff, just give the first number there. This is compared to the sun, and this is in Kelvin. So take pause or hit pause and then get the info down. Now we're going to go back to Google Earth or Google Sky, and we're going to go on to Arcturus. This is another one where they kind of have 2 or 3 layers of pictures, so the picture looks funny because we got different images stacked on top of one another within the Google Earth program. That's okay, just know that that's not exactly what it looks like. Those are multiple pictures kind of stitched together. Go to full article for Arcturus. We have our spectral type here under characteristics, but we have to read through this part to find what time or what type of star it is. And there is a key. It does tell us here in the first sentence what type of star it is, so you should be able to figure that out. And then we're going to scroll down to details, and you have luminosity compared to the sun, and you have temperature in Kelvin. Okay, so pause the video if you need to go back, or scroll backwards if you need to. We're going to go on to our final star, which is Aldebaran. Here is Aldebaran. Fly across to our last one. There's an image of it. We'll click on our info dots and go to full article. You can read about Aldebaran, and then you can get some characteristics and details. So you have evolutionary stage and spectral type in the characteristics, and you have your luminosity and temperature as compared to the sun, temperature in Kelvin. Down here in the details section. Okay, so at this point, you should have all of your information for part A for the galaxies and part B for the stars. And then what you're going to do is go back to your worksheet, and for part C, you're going to use temperature and luminosity to plot and label those stars on the HR diagram. And once you have these 6 stars plotted and labeled as to which one is which, then you are free to take a picture and turn it in through Canvas. And we hope that you enjoyed the journey through the universe. Have a great rest of your day and enjoy your weekend.